Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title, I'm going to look at some of the most complex Skylanders in the Skylanders series. Skylanders that I do truly think are good, but you can't just spam their primary attack and do anything with that. But maybe they have some cool combos, or if you just use their entire moveset, they become really good Skylanders. I just think that these Skylanders, if you use all what they give you, they can become really good Skylanders that you can't just spam their primary attack with like a lot of other Skylanders. But I could not do this video alone. That's why today, Coming Clean Gaming will be in this video. Yes, this is so epic, guys. Give him a warm welcome. And before I say anything else, his channel will be in the description, so please go down to the description and subscribe to him. He deserves it. Let's get him to 500 subscribers. Please, guys, that'd be great. But with all that being said, Coming Clean Gaming, why don't you start this video out for us?
Hello everyone, my name is Coming Clean and I have a YouTube channel called Coming Clean Gaming where I cover Skylanders, other Toys Life games and similar franchises. A huge thanks to Skylander Gamer TV for having me on your channel. I actually reached out to Skylander Gamer TV because I needed help with something. My own Skylanders collection is of a decent size, but so far I've spent the most time with Spyro's Adventure and Imaginators. Yes, the first and last game for some reason, but I have acquired a taste for a certain type of Skylander.
What I'm talking about is the characters that are a little bit more complex, the ones that make you think strategically instead of going on autopilot. Allow me to give you a couple of examples. From Spyro's Adventure, Prismake is one of the most complicated Skylanders to play as. Many characters in the game have a main attack that's easy to spam, and while it's not the most engaging way to play those characters, it gets the job done. Spamming Prismake's relatively weak, high cooldown main attack will get you nowhere. For my Prismake, who is on the Crystallier path, one of the most viable tactics is to wait until enemies get close enough for you to hit them with his third attack, pushing them back just far enough for you to hit them with his very damaging crystals. Prismake doesn't really have a go-to attack that works in every scenario. You have to assess every situation and use his toolkit accordingly, which is the reason I find him so engaging to play as. Another example from Imaginators is Dr. Crankcase. I like his character design, but I probably wouldn't go as far as to say he's one of the coolest looking senseis. However, I do find his moveset very enjoyable to use. Even his main attack adds some strategic value to the way he approaches combat, as it leaves puddles of goo on the battlefield that you can then use his secondary attack to slide into for area of effect damage. The hatbots you unleash engage your enemies on their own, but to really get the most out of them you need to slide into them too. That activates their search and destroy mode, and they run into your foes and self-destruct for high damage. This is why I think Dr. Crankcase is so engaging to play as. Even his main attack requires a strategic use, and even though he is a low armor quickshot sensei, you have to slide into the thick of battle from time to time to maximize your damage output.
So Skylander Gamer TV, now that you know what type of hard to master Skylanders I like, which Skylanders from the different games do you think I should check out a little extra? Which are the most complex Skylanders?
Okay, so my pick from Skylanders Giants is Thumbback. I think the reason why a lot of people don't like him is because they just use his first attack and do nothing after that. Thumbback's combos are actually pretty solid, and his bite attack, in my opinion, is super underrated. It does some decent damage. And another thing I do not see people using a lot is his belly flop ability, which is such a good attack, and it does damage, and you can move around with it. And if you upgrade him, you can get a starfish come out of his mouth while he's doing his belly flop attack. I think that's pretty cool, actually. And also, just his first ability, I think, is actually really good. I know a lot of people say that they just don't like his first ability. I think it's pretty good. It does a lot of damage, and once you use his combos and his belly flop ability and all of those other ones, he's a really good Skylander. He's not a Skylander, like I said, that you can just spam his primary attack. You have to use all of his attacks, and once you do, he becomes a really, really good Skylander. You get a whole lot out of him. From Swap Force, a very underrated swapper in my mind in this video that I'm going to be talking about is Trap Shadow. I don't know if I would say he's the most complex Skylander ever, but I do think that it is not a good strategy just to use his primary attack over and over again. Trap Shadow has a few interesting moves. He can literally enter the Shadow Realm in one of his moves, where he just becomes a shadow, so that's obviously really cool. And his kicks are actually not close range attacks like you might think. They're actually ranged because when he kicks, a purple mist comes out of them, which does some pretty good damage to enemies. So if you need some range, use Trap Shadow's kicks. And the big thing with Trap Shadow is obviously his traps. And he can make shadows, but we're talking about his traps. And like his kicks, this is strangely a ranged ability, which is a good thing in my opinion. You can actually choose how far it goes, and I think that's really cool. I think more Skylanders should be able to choose how far you can throw the projectile. And when Trap Shadow hits someone with his traps, it hooks on for them a while, dealing damage. I also have to mention that his primary attack, which is not the best, I will agree, but when you put all of Trap Shadow's moves together, including his primary attack, he becomes a very solid Skylander. Just being able to choose where you want to throw your trap and you can place them strategically and stuff like that, I think is really cool, and I think Trap Shadow deserves to get way more love. The Skylander I chose from Trap Team is not a Trap Master, but a core Skylander from the game, and that core Skylander is Blades. Get it? His name's Blades, guys, because he uses blades. Wow. Anyway, enough with his name. Let's get to the Skylander. So Blades' primary attack is him using his wings to stab enemies with, you guessed it, his blades. But if you use more than just his primary attack, I think Blades has so much more potential. Blades can also shoot out, again, you guessed it, Blades with his second attack. He jumps up in the air and blades come out everywhere, and it's cool. And a thing you can do with this, after you do this attack, you can use his third attack, which is just an air tornado, and it can suck up all of his blades, turning it into a knife tornado, which you can do a bunch of things with. First of all, you can just use your primary attack again to shoot out blades from it, which is really cool, but it also follows you around. So you can put enemies in this giant knife tornado, and it deals heavy damage to them. And that is really cool. You also can just press Y again and it stops the tornado, shooting out all the blades. Really cool. I think that because of his third attack, his air tornado, when that comes into play, he becomes a very complex Skylander because you can just do so much with this air tornado. And it deals a heavy amount of damage. And his moveset is just really versatile because of that third move. And I think if it wasn't for that third move, he probably wouldn't be as much as a complex Skylander. But I think because of that third move, he is a super complex Skylander with a lot of things you can do with his moveset. Okay, my last pick in this video and my pick from Superchargers might shock you, but it's Smash Hit. And while I do think just using Smash Hit's primary can be useful at times, he can do so much more if you use all of his moves. And it makes him super complex. So you can actually detach your giant boulder that's attached on the chain, and if you keep spamming your old primary button, then it makes a giant whirlpool around your boulder that sucks enemies in, dealing devastating amounts of damage. And if you reattach your boulder, you can make a big shockwave attack, which is pretty awesome. Another attack is, instead of swinging your boulder in a circle, which is his primary attack, you can just smash it on the ground. Again, if you detach his boulder, you can still use the chain to whack enemies with it. Smash Hit might actually be one of the most complex Skylanders because essentially Smash Hit has two movesets within his whole moveset. One where you just use his boulder chain on his boulder and you can swing it around and smash it, and the other one where you detach his boulder and use just a regular chain to hit people, or you can swing it around and suck enemies in with that giant whirlpool attack. I think that is super complex because it gives you a lot of stuff to do. You can use his boulder, you can use his chain, you can just do a lot of stuff with Smash Hit. I think that makes him a pretty good Skylander, and obviously a very complex Skylander, and that makes him a really cool Skylander in my opinion.
Thanks a lot for your input. Now I know which Skylanders I should spend some more time with. If you haven't subscribed to Skylander Gamer TV already, you should do so right now. He puts up a lot of content and he never runs out of interesting things to say about the game. On my channel, I like to do analysis of Skylanders movesets among other things, and if you think that will interest you, then please consider checking out my content, which you'll hopefully find a link to in the description. Thank you for checking out the video. Thank you Skylander Gamer TV for having me on your channel. My name is Coming Clean, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Alrighty, Coming Clean Gaming, thank you so much for coming on the channel. Like I said before in the very beginning of this video, guys, if you have not, please go to the description and subscribe to Coming Clean Gaming. He has a lot of cool videos. He's also a pretty cool dude himself. He does martial arts and stuff like that. He's really cool. You guys should definitely go subscribe to him. And if you actually subscribe to him before you actually watch my video and listen to me in the very beginning of the video, thank you a lot for that. He deserves it. Everyone, go subscribe to him. I'm just saying a lot of stuff, but it's true. You should go subscribe to him, guys. But anyway, if you want to, tell me in the comments what you think some pretty complex Skylanders are that you might need to do more than just use their primary attack with. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching.